Hey, good evening, everybody. I just came on here real quick to say hello and to address the question that I posted yesterday, asking people how do they respond to triggers when they are triggered. What's their response? What's their trigger response? And the reason why I asked the question is because I witness a lot of times a lot of people being triggered as adults. And sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, you can really see that people have not dealt with their past traumas. And when triggers come, they don't quite know how to respond. And it's usually a response of shutdown. It's usually a response of being defensive. It's usually a response of wanting to fight. It's usually a response of just a negative response. And it's not everybody, but I see it a lot. I see a lot of people just responding in a negative way because they have not dealt with past traumas, and sometimes they can't even see or even they don't really acknowledge that they're going through a trigger and having a trigger and experiencing a trigger. So I just wanted to ask the question, and I thank everybody who responded, who inboxed me. I appreciate that. I thank the people who were transparent with me, because this is something that we need to talk about, how to respond, or just to have some type of conversation, to put some words to it and understanding to it. I come from a background of case management, and I became a life coach and an author because I wanted to just take my years of experience and help people walk through their journey, their life journey, and not having to be in a system or, being mandated to do it, but it's just people who wanted to grow and in their life and be their best selves. So a life coach was just like my perfect opportunity just to be able to help people through their journey. And I remember years ago me dealing with being triggered. I always responded in a negative way. Most of the time I responded in a negative way because I didn't quite understand or know, or sometimes even understood that I was even being triggered. And I always would fight or argue or be defensive, shut down. And when I became like in my mid-30s and going into my 40s, I said to myself, like, you have to chill with this responding in these negative ways. So I began to really acknowledge, every time I began to get triggered, I began to just acknowledge it and see and just start asking myself, like, why are you being triggered this way? Why are you responding this way? And it's because I wasn't dealing with my past traumas, my childhood traumas. As a child, when I went through these traumas, I didn't really deal with them, and I didn't really talk about it, and I didn't really challenge myself to really deal with it. And as an adult now, it's like, to be my best self, I'm choosing to deal with it so that when I am triggered, when something does come my way, I have to practice self-control and deal with that trigger so that I won't respond in a negative way. I won't come out of character. I won't be besides myself. So I'm just here to encourage you that if you are experiencing triggers and you are responding negatively, let's begin to work on it. Let's begin to deal with it. Let's begin to connect what it is and to really understand why you're being triggered that way, to deal with past traumas. It's so important so that you can become your best self, because that's what it's all about. It's about becoming your best self. It's about being who you were created to be. So I'm just here just to encourage you, just to do what you need to do to get yourself together. I'm Coach T. Thank you for watching my video. I ask that you comment, that you share, that you subscribe, that you just continue to come on here and give me feedback. It's so appreciated. It's so appreciated. So the question again, what is your response when you are triggered? Have a good night.